What's up, YouTube? Just got back up here. I just picked up 2 new lawnmowers. Probably all going to be for ports. We got another John Deere STX 38. This one is not the hydro. And a 210. This is really rough, but I paid $50 each, so can't really lose money. Guy thinks that this one actually runs. I don't think so. It was buried in the woods. This one he knew needed a lot of work, but let me get them off the trailer. Alright, so I got this unloaded. The guy swore to me that if I put a battery in this, it would start up. I didn't even try just because either way I was going to buy it, so why waste my time? And then this is the 210, which is really rough shape. It doesn't even steer. I don't know if the steering linkage at the steering wheel on the bottom's broken. That's probably what it is, because I was turning the wheel and it doesn't even move. Something underneath is either bent or snapped. It's so rusty, but it does got charge change. I'm sure there's $50 worth of parts here, but let's see if we can get that to start. Maybe we'll try to start this anyway just to see, but I don't want to pull that in until I'm done with this. It's going to be a few minutes because the battery box is charging, but we'll go from there. See if we got any oil. Oil in there. Black. There's oil. Yes. I'm gonna have to take these leaves off. I don't want to start a fire. There is some gas in there. Let me smell it. It smells pretty rotten, but we'll see. Let's see if we got anything under heat. It's pretty clean in there, actually. So yeah, that is the bonus of testing things and getting them running like this. You can list everything as what's working. You know, we tried it. We know the transaxle works. The electrical components are all good. The starter. I mean, it doesn't have to run to check the starter, but we can engage the blades and make sure the PTO worked. That's good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna do a few other things. The battery box is unfortunately dead. I'm gonna move my car back to the house and we'll go from there. Motherfucker looks like he's about to kill me. But let's see if we get anything or if we gotta wait till tomorrow. So this doesn't want to come on. Put that, and then this one here. All right. See if we are getting spark. Oh yeah. I don't know if you could see it, but we definitely got spark, which is good. Shocking. Very shocking, actually. Let's give her a little bit more spark fluid. Probably been a long time since she ran. Now my jump box is actually broken. So I'm going to run some jumper cables from there to the 325 as a brand new battery. I put a full car battery in there, so should give us a nice juice to at least test this. Another note, because I just got up here, I did buy a couple sockets that I'm missing. These 3. So let me get that jumper cable set up and we'll see if that does anything. Alright, a little noisy because that's running. I don't want the battery to completely die. It's brand new. But I just threw on the jumper cable. They got some stored in fluid. I don't even know. It's going to crank. I did have a battery I threw in there. Obviously, it's not the right size. But let me see if we get anything. Hold on a second. Alright, so I jacked up the back tires. Not sure why, but she's trying to take off. Fire. Alright, so she did fire. I shut that door. That alarm out there still running, but be a little bit quieter. I'm gonna throw a little fresh fuel in there. I really don't want to pull the carburetor because I really don't feel like it's gonna be worth it because I'm gonna just part it out anyway. But put a little fresh fuel. Maybe it sounds like she's not getting fuel. It started a little bit with that starting fluid. There is barely any fuel in there, so that's gonna be the issue. First thing I'm gonna do is pop off the fuel line going to the carburetor. Actually, to take this carburetor off, should just be two 10mm bolts. Oh, drop one. Strap one. Oh, find it in a second. Hose over here. Okay. Alright, so I found that other bolt I dropped. There is 2 hoses going to this one, just like a breather to the front, and then we got a gas hose. Okay, start this one back here. See if I can get it. Sometimes these little clamps are real. Especially since I'm not trying to block the whole camera. Okay. Got this one. Alright, so the gas one is disconnected. So, it doesn't want to come on. I probably didn't. This thing's been sitting in the wood. I do see gas coming out, which is good. Alright, so I'm going to shut the gas. You can see it's dripping out. So we got gas from here to the carburetor. No, come on. Then for the other line, it's just going to be easier if I disconnect it up here. And then once I get the carburetor off, I'll take off the other side. Yeah, the gas, like, ugh. Honestly, I shouldn't have probably added new gas. I should have probably just replaced the old gas, drained it, but yeah, there goes that one, came right off. Put a pile of everything up here. Ooh, she's dirty. Damn. You can see the door right here is, it's not the worst. But let's pop this off. I'm gonna save that gasket right there. Okay. Yeah, I got on here. Take this side off, I guess, easier. Okay. Damn, I just broke that. That's fucked. Well, at least it was just a rebuild. It wasn't like... It did snap right there. I was trying to pull the other side out. I must have bent it too much. You could see somebody was in here, and you see this little thing on the top. I've never seen this. And they definitely wouldn't have used this screw. So yeah, somebody's been in here already. Damn. That's why it was so hard to get out. Because this is not the right... Where'd that other end go? Right here. So it was in here. They like made it. That's why. Yeah, you could tell this is all... what do we do? What do we do? I guess we'll just pull the bowl and see, and we'll go from there. Alright, so carbs out. That's something else. Should just be 113 millimeter. Okay. Ooh, that looks nasty. Yeah. It's not horrible in there so far. Let's check the bottom of the bowl. Not the worst. Pop this out. This came right out. Little float. Yeah, you could see there's a lot of buildup. Oh, we can see actually, like right around here. So I'm gonna spray all this out, and I'm gonna put some compressed air and make sure it's traveling through. Going crazy on this, like I would usually put in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm literally just rushing through this because I don't know if it's gonna start because I broke the top off anyway, so I might just be completely wasting my time, but we'll see. These are real simple carburetors to work on. Really, you'd want to clean all this real well, or at least put in the ultrasonic cleaner if you have one. If not, just make sure it's super clean. Like, I'm still putting this back together and I see like some nasty crud. I'm just trying to clean off as I'm going. Got some on my finger, which is disgusting. Alright, that's in. Put the pin back in. I think that it was just a bowl, because it sounded like it's about to start. But do not do this as a how to clean a carburetor, because this was definitely not the correct way. Like, if I was keeping this or going to try to flip it, I would have spent a lot more time and effort on this. But for purposes of today's video, can we get this piece of shit to start? Should be good. Any questions? Check other YouTube channels. No, just kidding. You guys can ask in the comments. Especially about eBay. I'm good at stuff like this, but I'm sure there's people out there who can go more into detail and knows a lot more about this stuff than me. But selling on eBay, I am extremely good at. I make decent money doing that. Right now, my last 90 days, I'm at like 4,800, but you got to minus shipping costs. Yeah. Let me throw this back in. I'm not going to bore you with that. So all I'm going to do is where the fuel line cracked right here, I'm going to cut a piece off, put it back on, put the clamp on, and two 10mm bolts, and put the tops where the cables connect, but that's going to be difficult. This one that's actually broken is just the choke cable. So I'll just have to manually, I'm not even going to put the airbox back on. I'll just choke it manually and see if we get anything. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, it's the choke cable. Somebody, you could see like that screw right there. That is not factory. Either is this little thing that they put on there to hold it down. Hey, if it works though. Let me throw it back in. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm not feeling too confident about this, but I threw it back in there. The whole clips and everything are broken. It's on choke now. Let's see if we get anything. Let's open her up. We'll give her a little starting fluid. And we'll see if we get anything. Actually, the other clip on this side broke too. So that should be right there. We'll see if we get anything now. She's running. kind of runner. Actually, motor didn't sound too bad, but you would need to buy a carburetor, hood, tires. Something's up with the deck. The transaxle is working. I put in gear and you can see the tires are spinning. So I could sell that. Good. But yeah, just start pulling parts off of her. Really no reason to keep messing with it. I will check my eBay store or listings. I did part a couple of these out, so I might have a carburetor. I don't think so. I think they sold right away. But that's it for now. Thanks. It's working. We know the electrical's good. We'll start with pulling the deck off. It doesn't look like there's too much under there. The back looks like it's being held up by a piece of rope. I think that's why he got rid of it. Something's going on with the deck or whatever. So we'll pull that. See what parts we could salvage. Alright, so it's the next day. I did get the deck off last night. Unfortunately, it is pretty soft all up here. And right there. Well, it's not soft. This is soft. So I don't think it's really flippable like this, but I will pull this bracket, these two, and the two front ones. I've sold those before on eBay for about 50 bucks. And then we got these front wheels. The set will sell for another 20. So you got $70 just in parts. Really nothing else is good. Everything else is locked up. So I'll yank those off, and then the rest of that will go right in the scrap metal pile. All right, those two are off. Now we just got these brackets up here we got to get. Those are 15 millimeters. Hopefully they come off easier. If not, we'll cut them off. All right, so I did just list these on Facebook. Not Facebook, eBay. There is a set listed right now, but it has all the hardware with it for $55. So I listed with free shipping. So I listed mine for $30 plus $12 shipping. It'll probably cost me about $8 to ship these. So the other money from the shipping will cover the fees. So I'll make $30 profit on these. Not bad, and mine will sell first because they're cheaper. Unless you don't have that hardware, then I would just buy that one. So you got to go a little bit cheaper. But yeah, not bad, 30 bucks so far. I only spent 50 on the machine. And I'm definitely going to get at least 20 for those tires. So we're at 50 right there. Then everything else is going to be straight profit. All right, let's start pulling this bad boy apart. All right, so I'm going to start with draining the oil. Usually I don't, and then halfway through I flip something over by accident and make a big mess. So I'm learning from my mistakes. Hopefully you can learn from them too. Drain the oil first. Okay, that's still draining, but I think just to take the gas tank off, it's just these two. I did shut the gas valve. This should slide right up. Well, I shut off the gas, but when I pulled out the tank, the gas line came off, so I got gas all over. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a pretty big bee's nest down there at one time. No bees in there now, luckily, thank God. Alright, YouTube, this is where we're at right now. Pretty much stripped. There's a couple parts I didn't pull, like the bracket, not the bracket, but the part where the seat would sit, because somebody welded a bolt on it for some reason, so that probably would never sell. The other thing I still got to get off the frame is the dash and the lower dash pedestal, but the bolt for the steering wheel is stuck, so I have to cut through the shaft, but it's late right now and I'm not going to do that. That's pretty much it. The whole wiring harness is out. That'll sell easily 50 bucks. I sold this exact shifter rod before for 20 bucks. Transaxle. It does have a leak on it. You could see where it looks like it's filled with oil. But that'll still be $100 bill profit. And then there's a bunch of stuff on the motor I still got to pull out. But so far, making out pretty good for a $50 investment. I did get the gas tank. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that'll be another, it'll sell for like 50, but after fees and shipping, we'll make like 30 bucks off that. All right, I'm going to bed. I'm done for tonight. Oh, there's also the front rear. Got that out. I still got to pull the tires off, and I guess I'll put them in the scrap metal pile because they're rotted. All right. Oh, I'm tired. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. All right, I'm done for tonight. All right, so we got everything ripped apart. This is all scrap metal. The pedals are still on there. Not worth anything. I already have it set listed for a long time. This is the black STX. If you could see, the lower dash is plastic, black. The upper dash is more of like a hard metal, aluminum maybe. That sells on eBay for 60 bucks. That'll be $40 profit. The block, this is all that's left. I got all the electrical components. The whole wiring will sell for about 50 bucks profit. This steering, not much there. Probably make 10 bucks off of that. Then up here we got the starter. They don't sell for much either. With the bolts and this, I'll make $10 profit. People just buy new starters. You can get one cheaper. Flywheel, this will sell about $40 profit. If you broke a tooth on those, you can't get an aftermarket one, so they're kind of easy sale. This is the top of the cylinder with the cover and the lifters. I used to just scrap those, but I've been selling those lately, so that'll be another $30 profit. Miscellaneous stuff, there's a bunch of stuff. I'll add it all up real quick. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Gas tank went over that. The upper dash, not a lot of money there. Those sell for about 20 bucks, so I'll make 10 bucks. It's light, easy to ship. All right, let me clean up. Everything else is scrap. All right, so I added up all the STX 38 parts. It came out to about 480 bucks. That was profit after shipping and eBay fees. So even if only 25% of that sells, should still make at least 300 bucks profit. So not too bad. I was up here a couple hours. The other thing is, I wanted to wait and do like a follow-up video of what actually sold, but the problem is it's the beginning of August, and honestly I haven't sold too many lawnmower parts this month. I did a couple. I sold like 400 last month, and this is just a side thing for me. So, but I did want to end the video with this package I ordered from Amazon. This is like a, I don't know, I figured I'd show you guys. This is like a fuel kit, fuel line kit. I need a can of spray paint for something else I'm going to be doing. But I think this is like 30 feet of small engine fuel line. That's what it's supposed to be. Good box to ship something. I don't know. I think this cost me 26 bucks. I figured it'd be good to keep on the shelf because I'm always looking for fuel lines and stuff. So, yeah, not a bad kit. It's 6 different size lines, and I think each line is 5 feet. 26 bucks. Can of these gas line clamps. Yeah, this is awesome to just keep with my parts. I use a lot of gas line, not this. I don't know what, I'll probably never use this giant gas line, but you never know. Not bad. If you need gas line for 26 bucks, can't beat it. With the clamps, I'll probably keep the clamps. I have a bucket of those, so that will go somewhere else. But this, I'll just put right in the parts rack, just like that. Cool. Well, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to make a follow-up video from each machine, what's sold so far. I'm thinking like
Usually get busy, like real busy in May. May people start ordering a lot of parts. Right now for my last 30-day sales on eBay, I'm at like 5,000. Usually like June, my number goes up to like 8,000. So, not bad. Well, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm out. Have a good day.